Welcome to TV Africa News. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Africa Today. My name is Nahabi Kajur, but first, other headlines. NRM's Mwangi announced winner, NUP's Nakwede protests. Government bows to pressure, releases 35.2 billion shillings to enhance doctors' allowances. Ethiopia's president hits at national dialogue to end conflict. In our sports today, Butekiro Pool climaxes the Masaza Cup 2021 group phase. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. We start with one of our top stories. The Electoral Commission has declared NRM candidate Andrew Mwangi the winner of the hotly contested Kayunga LC5 seat in results announced on Friday morning. Following the declaration, the NRM candidate applauded his supporters for the love showered to him. We have more on this report. In a close-to-call election, the Kayunga returning officer Jennifer Chobtunji announced that having got 31,830 votes against Kakwede's 31,380, NRM's Mwangi had beaten her closest rival with just 450 votes. The same race that attracted 6 candidates, independent candidate Majid Nyanzi came third with 1,297 votes, followed by Musisi Boniface, an independent who got 470 votes, Jamilu Kamoga 279, and Democratic Party's Anthony Wandimba got 158 votes. There was a delay in the announcement of results for a number of hours as Electoral Commission computed the results from the various polling stations, whereas the compilation and computation started as early as 8 p.m. on Thursday. It was not until 9 a.m. on Friday, almost 13 hours later, for the election body to announce the results. However, the Electoral Commission Secretary Leonard Mulekwa apologized for the unintended delay. The Electoral Commission Chairperson Justice Simon Byabakama applauded the candidates, their agents and supporters for the patience they exhibited. He, however, urged the losers to accept the outcome of the election and that if not satisfied, they should go through the legal channels to challenge the same. However, following the declaration of the results, the NUP candidate Harriet Nakwede, who spent over 10 hours at the tally center, protested the outcome of the election, insisting that there was manipulation. Moving on in our top stories, the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development is set to release 35.2 billion shillings to cater for allowances and salaries for the medical interns and senior medical officers. Now, this was confirmed by the State Minister for Finance, Henry Musasizi, in Parliament.
The State Minister for Finance, Henry Musasizi, said that government wants to ensure that all interns and senior medical officers receive their payments before Christmas. Over the past couple of weeks, medical interns have put down their tools, demanding that government fulfills its promise to increase their pay from 750,000 shillings to 2.5 million Ugandan shillings. Musasizi assured MPs that government will release the funds to meet the demands of the doctors. In the same sitting, the Minister for ICT, Dr. Chris Balyomunsi, revealed that government will consider whether to rescind the decision to fire the interns in a meeting on December 17th.
Thank you so much, your reporter. We take a quick break. We shall come back with the international news. Welcome back for the break. You're watching TV Africa, the right to know. In international news today, Ethiopia is seeking more collaboration with other African countries to help it struggle with the ongoing internal conflicts. Now, the Ethiopian Deputy President Saleh Zwede visited Ivory Coast on Thursday and met with President Alassane Ouattara.
The Ethiopian Deputy President Sahle Zwede said that the situation in Ethiopia is stabilizing and that they will soon have a national dialogue. Sahle said that no war is simple as long as it is a war between them, adding that there is no external occupation or external aggression, making it a painful episode. He said that for a genocide to be determined, there are criteria that unfortunately must be fulfilled, all of which don't have all any. Sahle added that they are moving forward and that the situation is stabilizing and will soon have a national dialogue that will determine the future of the country. The war broke out in November 2020 when the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed sent troops into Ethiopia's northernmost region of Tigray to topple the TPLF after months of seething tensions with a group that had dominated politics for 3 decades before he took office.
Away from that, the United Nations Cultural Agency UNESCO on Wednesday added Senegal's national dish, a rice and fish platter called Thiebou Dinu, to its cultural heritage list. We have more on this report. Senegal's culture ministry applied to include the dish, which is widely consumed in the West African country, on the Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity list in October. Thiebou Dinu means rice with fish and Senegal's dominant Wolof language. It is often prepared with vegetables such as cassava or tomato and served at lunch. The northern Senegalese city of St. Louis is believed to be the birthplace of the dish. The city, whose old center is itself a UNESCO World Heritage Site, borders the Atlantic Ocean and hosts a thriving fishing community. UNESCO stated that the dish is traditionally eaten with hands, adding that the recipe and techniques are traditionally passed down from mother to daughter. Thiebou Dinu, also spelled Seboujen in Wolof, joins other food-related items of the UNESCO list, such as the art of Neapolitan, Pizzaulo, and Couscous culture in Mauritania, Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia. Away from that, it was a winding road that brought the Taka family from the United States to Angola. They are descendants of the first Africans taken from Angola to America. Now they have returned to visit Lowndes Slavery Museum and find answers. Their story began in 1619 on the shores of the American state of Virginia. We have more on this report.
Wanda Taka, descendant of Angolan slaves, said that they are descendants of the first African, or at that time they didn't know, Angolan black child born in English colonies or British colonies. Taka added that there was power in knowing their identity to a country, although many African Americans don't know their country of origin, of their homeland, which can't allow them make that connection. Another aspect Taka wants to explore is the role of religion in the trade of people during this historical period. The Taka's visit follows an invitation of Angolan President João Lourenço. In recent years, descendants of the first slaves to arrive to American soil, along with specialists, have been seeking recognition for a group of around 20 Africans they describe as critical to the survival of Jamestown, England's first successful settlement in North America.
Thank you so much, reporter. Moving on, in international news, the newly appointed Burkina Prime Minister Lassina Zabo has outlined some of the issues he intends to solve in the country just after the selection of various ministerial dockets. Now, Lassina said Burkina Faso now needs to face that reality by solving issues like terrorism that have been the main concern for the West African country. We have more. Lassina Zabo, the Prime Minister of Burkina Faso, said that it is not a question of presenting the problems but of providing solutions and what can be done to address his country's security issue. He said that they will immediately discuss with the two ministers to see what concrete proposals are on the table to meet the needs of their military, gendarmerie and paramilitary personnel who are on the ground. The new Prime Minister further reiterated the need to tackle and reduce the cost of living in a country where unemployment has been a major challenge for years. The new Prime Minister said that they will try to reduce the cost of living of the state and to get closer to the population without making the state suffer, which made him call for sponsorships. He added that they will try to reduce this as much as possible so that the ministers can devote themselves to their work in the field, but only on essential issues and issues that concern their departments. Lassina is relatively unknown to most Burkinabes but has gained some recognition abroad for his efforts towards banning nuclear explosive testing. Thank you so much, our reporter. We take a quick break. She'll come back with the business news. Welcome back from the break. You're still watching TV Africa, the right to know. In a business news today, with coal providing 80% of its electricity, South Africa, the continent's most industrialized nation, is now banking on solar power. The South African government has awarded 25 contracts for renewable energy projects worth a total of 50 billion rand and 2.8 billion to reduce the country's heavy dependency on coal.
Energy Minister Gwede Mantashe said that the 25 projects, 12 wind farms and 13 photovoltaic plants awarded to the private sector will increase the country's electricity generation capacity to 2,583 megawatts or 4.5% more than at present. Indeed, the country is living with load shedding, and the South African electricity company Eskom, which supplies 90% of households, is sinking under a debt of several $1 billion. As a result, several companies are turning to solar energy with the aim of being 100% dependent on this source by 2025. Konoraf, Vice President of Purchasing and Sustainability at FB InBev, said that for Africa, they have already made some progress in this regard and have an on-site solar installations in all their breweries in South Africa. He added that they have solar installations in Nigeria and Tanzania and have gone back to their original mission of wanting to be around for the next 100 years plus, and this is one of the best ways to do that. South Africa's largest township, Soweto, is not only facing power cuts but also reduced load, a consequence of the $1 billion owed to the country's power producer Eskom. For businesses, the lack of electricity leads to increased operating costs and reduced productivity and profitability. Power outages in South Africa cost the country's economy more than $30 billion a day. South Africa has been experiencing load shedding since 2007 because the country has failed to build new power plants to achieve greater economic growth.
Away from business, in our health news today, a huge exodus of health professionals amid the COVID-19 pandemic is hitting Zimbabwe hard, with more than 2,200 leaving to take jobs in the US, UK, Australia, and neighboring states. We have more on this report. According to the government's Health Service Board, this is more than double the number of doctors, nurses, and pharmacists who left last year and 3 times the number that left in 2019. Officials say that exodus has affected an already fragile health system, which suffers from a lack of medical equipment and medicines. The World Health Organization recommends a minimum of 23 doctors per 10,000 people, which Zimbabwe is far from meeting. When the last survey was done in 2015, there was an average of just 1.6 doctors per 10,000 people. Despite repeated government promises to improve wages, they remain low. An average worker in the public sector takes home less than $200 a month, while in UK, which relaxed visa restrictions for health workers in 2020, they can earn 10 times as much. In our sports news today, the two final Butikiro Group games in the 2021 Masasa Cup will be played on Friday, December 17th at the Fufa Technical Center in Jeru. Now, this will also mark the end of all group stage action, where the last two quarter finalists will be determined.
With 6 teams already confirmed for the quarter-finals, including Bululi, Chadondo, Buddu, Buwekula, Chagwe and Busiro, the onus is upon the Bulemezi, Kochi and Mawokota to make it to the quarter-finals. On Friday, the early kickoff shall be between Bulemezi and Sese at 12 p.m, with Kochi coming up against Mawokota at 3 p.m. Bulemezi, winners of this championship in 2012 and 2019, only needs a point or 3 to topple the rest of the teams in Butikiro Group. Coached by Yusuf Chinene, Bulemezi overcame Kochi 3-0 and Mawokota 1-0 in their first 2 matches to build an advantage coming to their group game. Sese lost 2-1 to Mawokota but swiftly recovered to whip Kochi 6-1 on Thursday. The Islanders, who are coached by Idrissa Walusimbi, are confident of fighting for a quarter-finals slot. Sese will bank on sharp scorer Abubakar Mayanja, who netted a whole 4 goals against Kochi. Other key players: Andrew Mukasa, Christopher Wambale, Emmanuel Tabukamya, Mubaraka Wakaso Masereka, Alan Bukenya, Richard Luanga and others. Bulemezi is glad that Captain Simon Katumba is back after recovering from an ankle injury. They are, however, sweating over the fitness of forward Hakiram Shafiki Mzanyi and Bernard Katerega, who limped out of the Mawokota game.
Thank you so much for being our loyal audience from where we started from. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We shall keep updating you. It is TV Africa, the right to know.